What is anxiety? Anxiety is this negative feeling of unease, of fear, of uncomfortability, just playing not to lose all the time, being extremely tuned into everything that's around you, being cautious for any potential dangers, ready to face them if need be. A very primal state, if you will. Now, what's the opposite of anxiety? It's carelessness, a state of independence, if you want to sugarcoat it. The anxious people are very, very much in touch with the reactions of others, with the feedback from the world. But their polar opposites, the avoidant people, are quite ignorant of it. And what's the best way to stop fire? It's with water. So you, if you are an anxious person, could make great, great use of the features of the avoidant people. So you need to become more self-reliant. Now, obviously, the goal is not to become a selfish and avoidant person forever, but a tiny bit of selfishness can do you wonders right now. It can push you towards the middle where the ideal is. Don't be afraid of becoming an arrogant and grumpy person forever, because that's gonna be impossible, trust me. The key realization here is that you only have yourself. No one else knows you as well as you do, and no one else has ever spent as much time with you as you have. It's been like this since the day you were born, and it's going to be like this forevermore. You are just by yourself. Now, this might sound quite lame, this might sound quite cruel to some extent, but don't disregard the importance of this advice, because once you understand it and once you implement it, you realize that it's gold. Because once you manage to befriend yourself, you realize that even if everyone on the entire planet rejects you, you still have yourself. You are not completely alone, you still have your back. And you can still have fun by yourself. And it's still a weird thing to say, I know, but yeah, you only have a limited perception of life, you can only have that much fun, right? It's going to get boring after a while, and we are social creatures anyway. We thrive around other people. But why is that the case? Why is it so boring and so scary? Why is this idea of just being by yourself so boring? Because when you were a child, this wasn't the case. When you were a child, you were having the time of your life, just you by yourself, playing with all the objects around you, with the toys, and not even toys, just random objects, unleashing your creativity, giving life to everything. What's happened to that? Now, you don't have to play with toys right now, of course, but you can still tap into that, into those feelings that you felt when you were a child, to unleash your creativity in other activities right now as an adult. But I'm only talking about creative activities here. There can be no distractions. I'm not talking about watching movies or playing video games or even being with other persons. Just being you by yourself, doing creative activities solo. Like, it can be writing, or reading is not a good one, by the way, because reading is still consumption. But it can be singing, it can be playing a sport, playing an instrument. These are all activities that will get you closer and closer to befriending yourself. But this is not all. You should also take more time to spend by yourself. Now you might be like, what do you mean? I'm spending a lot of time by myself anyway. I mean with no distractions. Because I know it's so easy to consume all the time. And it's so hard to just stay in peace and quietness and solitude. But I really suggest you to do this, right? Take 5-10 minutes and be just by yourself with no screens whatsoever, no other persons around you. You by yourself staring at the wall. And you will notice that we are so used to numb our negative feelings. As soon as a negative feeling arises, you will find a very, very logical reason to pick up your phone and check something. But deny that, destroy that urge, and just stay with the uncomfortability. And allow everything that comes up to come up, and give attention to it, give importance to it, because there is valuable data right there, and this is key to befriending yourself. After you succeed in doing this, after you befriend yourself, you destroy that needy part of you. You destroy that fear of being abandoned, rejected, and then when you interact with the world, you interact from a place of security, from a place of freedom, And people can sense this. People feel that you are not needy anymore, that you are strongly rooted in your shell, in your authenticity. You get respected and you get other reactions. And ultimately, it's not even about them, it's about you. You start living life for yourself, not for them. And you start playing to win instead of, like before, playing not to lose in the anxious state. This will not completely change everything, because this is not something that you can learn in one video. This requires you to make realizations for yourself, to take time to observe to observe life, to observe every single situation, to draw your own conclusions. And true significant changes take a long, long time. So be patient.